was quite easily believable to be a holy man. His eyes were wide and white, staring at me. He spoke again.
You come all this way. One be finding answers be having. But no answers you be having self. Tell me, bookman, how is it? You walk so far, see so much, know so very little.
I said, Mr. Weaver, I've come to... I've come to, and I couldn't think of what to say. I mean, I'd traveled all this way just to speak with this man, to ask him about whether or not what I was doing was right, but suddenly all of these questions sounded so pointless, so stupid. And I felt like a child. I felt like this lost child.
That's fine, bookman. You come from the outside, looking for things on the inside, and nothing be waiting here. I know why you come, Babylon. I know what you're seeking inside the bogweed. So many things here, waiting for you. You want to find rest. No rest for you, bookman. No rest now. We be taking you along for a little ride, time. You be taking others along for the ride. They see so many things through your eyes.
Mr. Weaver moved around me. He sat down just a few feet away from where my metal legs were sprawled out at awkward angles beneath my body. I tried to pull him in as best I could. And I thought, can't this man... I mean, how could he possibly just be so calm about this? I've showed up in his city asking to speak with him, and it's those he's expected me. I didn't understand what was happening. All the while, the bogweed scent was so incredibly heavy, I couldn't get away from it. It was just all around me.
Don't ya try speak, bookman. I know why ya coming here. Ya coming 'cause not knowing which way ya be going on the wind, aya. But I tell you, bookman, you be going now, be seeking with things that Mr. Weaver give ya. Take the things that take from New Roman Town, and go out amongst Babylon. Go see speaking to things long since dead. Keep singing the songs that ya sing. But ya go now to the land of the Dread Man. Ya go now, land of Nod. Ya be seeking X, seeing it there. So many things be learning now. All the tools ya be having, everything ya need, making your quest come more easily. If only keep it walking onwards.
I said, I don't understand what you mean. I'm supposed to go to the land of Nod? I'm supposed to look for X? What do you mean?
There are no answers for you here anymore, bookman. Only questions. 'Tis not me giving answers, only showing ways to see. No speaking now. Bookman, listen what Mr. Weaver say. The server be one true God, always has been, will be there, watching through you and me. We be brothers now, brothers fighting against things that yet to come. He be speaking through us through the infinite order, things that moving around in chaos. We find the random chaos speaking to us now. Cyberchrist come as prophet, first prophet. Now, Mr. Weaver, prophet, Bookman, prophet, all be prophets for the others. We tell them future, so they change in past, but not help us none. The bogweed be giving ya, always helping, seeing things. Bringing adoption help ya deal with gifts that Mr. Weave be giving ya. Ja be ready, coming to places now. Ja be coming choices. Ja be coming to move next level, be chasing choices. Time to evolve, Bookman. Time to be more than what you be. Aya.
I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. I was reeling to try to regain my senses, trying to think of what to say. Suddenly the whole trip had taken on a different tone. I didn't want this. This wasn't right. I just wanted to speak with him about what it meant to be a librarian, what it meant to have these cybernetic enhancements. I didn't mean for all of this to become so confusing, so jumbled somehow. I was struggling for words, and I saw him reach down off to the side. Underneath some pillows, he produced a long pipe, the kind of carved from the tusk of some long dead animal. He put it in his mouth, and from his fingertips he produced some match. A flame erupted in his hands, and he put it into the end of the pipe and took a long puff on something, whatever was in that pipe. I knew it had to be some kind of bogweed, some pure strain of it. He took a deep breath and leaned forward and blew the smoke into my face. The act of it hitting me, I breathed it in, and I felt myself falling backwards, spiraling away down into those pillows that were there to rushed up to greet me. And I heard him somewhere in the distance saying,
Don't ya worry, Mr. Bookman. You and I be talking much more. Seeing ya again. Always be seeing ya.
And again I spiraled out of consciousness. Again I spiraled away into some black void. That sea of blue light was there again, waiting for me. I floated in it, trying to regain my bearings, but the bongweed, which had been so pleasurable before, had now become something else, something like a trap, a sticky web. This blue water, the same color as her hair, had become like tar. I was trapped. I couldn't escape. There's nothing I could do. I was fighting and struggling, and eventually my eyes opened and I tore myself into consciousness, and I was back, lying on that couch in that girl's trailer. My shirt was gone, and all my clothing, which I'd worn when I came there, was stacked beside me. I panicked. In a moment of clarity, I checked that pillowcase that the helmet was in, and sure enough, it was there. But I could hear in my own mind a buzzing, a wicked buzzing, a savage sound like so many locusts tearing around inside my mind. It was hard for me to concentrate. I blinked, and there was something wrong. There was something wrong inside of my head, and I couldn't figure out what it was. The bongweed was messing with my interface, something to do with maybe how I'd had too much circuitry, maybe the way that the neural interface with my memory circuits were working. Maybe the ghost wasn't compatible with all of this strange drug that was floating through the air. I didn't know what it was. I tried as best I could to keep focused. I put the helmet back on, and the minute I put the helmet back on, the buzzing dulled. It got to a point where I could think clearly. The buzzing was just fading away now, just an echo somewhere deep inside of me. With the filter in place, the scent of the bogweed, which was everywhere in the city, was starting to fade. I gathered up my clothing, and all I could think of at that moment was to get out of New Rome. I had to get out of here. I was not going to be a New Roman, and I had to leave before the New Roman Templars saw me. Maybe they thought I was a threat. Maybe they thought it was something. Maybe the insanity of this place would get to me, but I had to escape. So I stood up, made sure I had just about everything, and turned back. I had to find the gates to the city, but I just headed towards the wall. You could see it from anywhere, so I got closer and closer, made it to the entrance from which I came in. I recognized the same monk standing there along the discs of magnets, huge magnets. And he was still smiling, as though expecting me.